British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is fighting for his political life less than 2 years after winning one of the largest parliamentary majorities in modern British history. The Prime Minister is facing growing calls to resign and a potential leadership challenge from within his own party. Here is where things stand. The immediate trigger was last week's local elections, in which Labour suffered heavy losses, the worst for a governing party in more than 3 decades. More than 30 Labour lawmakers have now publicly called for Starmer to quit or set out a timetable for departure. Former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner warned on Sunday that the party may be facing its last chance to change direction. A junior former minister, Catherine West, went further, saying that if she was unhappy with the contents of Starmer's speech on Monday, she would attempt to trigger a full leadership contest. Starmer's response is a major reset speech in which he will declare that rebuilding Britain's relationship with Europe will be his government's defining mission. He will acknowledge that incremental change won't cut it and that the scale of reform needed is bigger than he had realised. Polls show around 60% of Britons now believe leaving the EU was a mistake, so a pro-Europe pivot could win back support among Labour voters and the younger demographic. But it will face fierce opposition from Eurosceptic parties and sections of the British press. Can he survive? The Labour Party has never removed one of its own prime ministers in its 125-year history. Under party rules, it would take 81 lawmakers to back a single challenger to trigger a contest. None of Starmer's main potential rivals, including Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who is not even a Member of Parliament, have moved against him. But the broader picture is stark. If Starmer falls, Britain will have had 7 prime ministers in a single decade, the highest political turnover in nearly 2 centuries. Analysts point to low economic growth, strained public finances, and the long shadow of Brexit as the structural causes. Starmer won a landslide less than 2 years ago. Right now, his grip on power has never looked more fragile.